to Australia. Have you had a bit of fun while you've been here?
We've been working a lot, and but we've gotten to see the city, which is great. And towards the end of our trip, we have some free time to do touristy stuff.
We pretty much like the view out the window of our hotel is a vacation in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly. That was worth
You got
the
harbor,
flight.
you got the opera house, you got the it's incredible.
Beautiful.
Just a little something we prepared for you earlier. Hope it was okay.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
I believe you've picked up a nice Aussie accent, though. Give us a bit of a
really good
sample
at
of that.
Well, I don't really want to. I'm not sure what they call it when it's not metropolitan Australian accent. It's more of like a inland Australian accent. What do you call that?
Outback.
Outback.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
good.
bad. That is not bad at all.
It's not bad. I know it's crappy, but come
No.
on.
I think
way
it's
better than mine.
Is it
Let's
because
hear yours.
give us? No, you have to do it now.
No, because I just go
You do.
straight into like English and make it really
That
not.
sounds very
you
proper.
know. Yeah.
But
Like you're in My Fair Lady.
Yeah. Right.
But do you think maybe it's because of the Canadian thing that you can do the accents, or?
well, I think I had to learn how to talk American too when I,
Yeah.
started doing the film TV thing.
Yeah.
So I have an ear for it because I've had to have an ear for it.
Yeah.
It's probably something to do with it.
Yeah. Let's talk about the singing. Now, Lea, you, in the first episode, we saw you do a wonderful song from Lea Michele, which, of course, was something you'd done a lot of anyway, wasn't it? Was that why?
I sang on my own at my audition for Glee. I just finished doing Les Mis at the Hollywood Bowl in California, and it was actually also the first Broadway show that I did when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, you played young Cosette.
Yes, I did, and then I went on to play Eponine when I got older.
How fantastic.
You'd sang that before. That's all.
So
Once or twice.
yeah, so I sang it before. I actually sang it in front of 27,000 people at the Hollywood Bowl alone on the stage. So I'm
I'll be
Fairly
playing-
comfortable with it as a tune.
yeah.
And so that's obviously why they put it in.
That's why they put it into the show. They figured that, Rachel Berry would know the most popular musical theater song for a young female singer, and that's what she would, sing. So
And you were familiar with it as an actress.
once again, I was familiar with the song. Yeah.
Captain Obvious.
Thanks for helping out there, yeah. Is there a sneaky reason behind some of your big numbers?
No.
Have you had any input?
No. Well, you know what happens on the show is we're all kind of caught singing songs backstage by Ryan Murphy, and they're kind of organically written into the show. And he is so talented. I mean, his brain is like an iPod.
Yeah, he is the most incredible music vocabulary, like library in his head.
He's brilliant.
And I really have, at first I was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I could sing this song and that song, but the songs I've enjoyed the most are the ones that I thought I would never, ever sing. I never thought I would sing Take a Bow by Rihanna. And, that was a really big challenge for me, and so I'm glad that,
Yeah, and for me, I wouldn't know what to pick. Being so new at singing, I really wouldn't. I'm glad people are picking the songs for me.
Did either of you do they have Glee clubs in Canada?
No, not to my knowledge.
They didn't have it in my school. We had choir.
Yeah.
And they didn't quite like me in choir.
Why?
Awkward.
Yeah, it was weird.
Too big a voice?
I just think people I
Kicked everybody's ass.
So I dropped out of choir. They weren't very nice to me.
Choir dropout.
Yeah,
They were
right?
evil.
Not
so
good.
they were the snarky ones, the people in the choir.
Well,
at
they
your
just
school.
didn't like that I was a singer and that I professionally sang, and so
Jealous.
You sound like a lot of punters.
Wow, I don't know what that means.
Are you allowed to say that on television?
Yeah, punters. That's good. That's an Aussie term. You don't use that at home, do you? You
I've
wouldn't
been
call.
studying.
You have. Who's been your coach? They're very good.
Numerous people.
I see. And what? What did they have in Canada? What's the equivalent of singing at school? If you were to have done that, or were you a nerd at school, or were you a bit cool? Did you do some sport and stuff?
I didn't do sports. I didn't do singing. I was kind of in between all those things.
Debating?
Debate club.
Hey,
Nothing the matter with it.
I was a champion debater.
Yeah,
It's
right.
part of the audio visual club, the AV
Okay.
squad. No, I'm just kidding.
Dork Central.
What's the equivalent? I don't know. I'm trying to think of the equivalent term.
They have choir, right?
They do. They have
Choir.
drama. I think they do have choir in
Yeah.
in bigger schools. but there's a lot of, it seems like where I'm from, there's a lot of smaller schools.
Yeah, and Glee Club, I think, is a lot of like schools in the Middle America have Glee clubs, and they have like amazing competitive Glee clubs. You know,
it's kind of a regional thing. I think it's less urban. It's more of a rural thing in the States.
So you were able to embrace it still pretty fast. I mean, it wasn't like...
Listen, go on YouTube, Google Glee Club, and you'll see some of the most amazing things
incredible.
in the whole world. I mean, Glee Clubs are a huge phenomenon, and so yeah, I think more schools should have them. And we've met so many kids who are like, we're starting a Glee Club, and that's awesome.
That's
great.
always our favorite thing to hear too.
Yeah.
When we hear kids that come out to the meeting or whatever and say, we're starting a Glee Club because of the show. We're like,
awesome.
What's better than that? Than inspiring kids.
Very few things.
You know what I mean?
With you having done so much stage work, did you ever think there would be a TV show where you'd get to show off your triple threat skills? Did you ever think you'd get the chance?
Well, I'm not much of a triple threat because if you see me dance,
that's a lie.
It's sad.
2.5?
But 2.5, I think is good.
She's
same
2
possibly.
3/4.
But no, I honestly,
Yeah.
I never ever thought that there would be a television show that I felt sort of catered to what I, feel I do well.
Yeah.
And a character that's as fun as her. I think as actors, I think I speak for everyone when I say that we feel really lucky to be a part of such a well-written show that has such incredible characters. For actors, it's like, it's a dream to be working on something this good.
Been casting an eye on it while we've been doing our interviews, and some of the best actors in the universe are now on television. Why do you think the really good material is turning up on TV all of a sudden?
That's a really good question.
I look at you, look at me.
Lea Michele.
Well, I really think that, you have Glenn Close in Damages, and you have like incredible actors on TV right now, but I still do think that it is quite rare that, to have shows that have great characters and great storylines. They're definitely there, and that's great. I think TV is in a really good place right now, and definitely, shows that are different are lasting. So yeah, I just on top of that, we're just proud to be a part of a show that we believe in so much and that we think is, good.
The other thing too is, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. There's a lot of shows that were coming out that I think there was kind of a slowdown in the movie and the film industry, and you saw a lot of bigger actors signing contracts. Dylan McDermott, for example, signing, like really established television or film guys doing television again, and it was almost kind of made it cool again or something for A-listers to do television shows. And then you saw Glenn Close and all this stuff. So I think that's kind of just sort of a sign of the times, and bigger actors doing stuff on television.
And that's when you decided it'd be okay for you to do.
That's when I decided to do. No, I'm Joe Canada. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
How hard do you guys have to work to put together an episode?
Hard.
Pretty freaking hard.
You got to record the songs, learn Cory, do
Learn
the
your
scenes.
lines, film the show.
So I'm
Memorize
thinking
your-
you're not out partying most nights of the week and turning up, having pulled an all-nighter.
I probably wouldn't do that even if we were.
No, 'cause you're
there was a
professional.
Glee. Well,
Consummate
because I'm kind
professional.
of a dork, but no, it's really a hard process, and they have created a really great sort of formula, for us. If it wasn't so fun, I know this sounds cheesy, but if it wasn't so fun, we would have been so burnt out, and it would be really hard. But when it's like it's the days that are the hardest that I feel the most energized afterwards, because they literally like fill me up. They make me so happy. We've left set so many times, like exhausted, dripping in sweat, just being like,
it's like,
that was amazing. It's
honest, every day going to work, it's not like we're going to a job. It's like every day getting up in the morning and you're going to space camp.
Space camp for him.
Because you don't get tired of going to space camp, right?
Do you remember the
16 hours at space camp.
I feel like I went to space camp. I feel like I did that as a kid.
Got really into stuff. You've got your Glee rings. A couple of them have got their Imagine tattoos. Have you got your Glee ring?
Didn't bring it.
No,
But
but
you've
I
got
have an
one.
Imagine tattoo.
But I got one.
You're the third Imagine tattoo.
She has a
the
permanent
third.
Glee ring.
It was my idea.
Ah,
I
tell me the
I
thought behind it.
instigated everyone. When we were out to a big dinner in Chicago, which was one of the last stops on our press tour in the U.S. And I convinced Jenna and Kevin to get Imagine tattoos. It's one of the songs that we did on the show, and it was really memorable experience for us all. So we got that, and I also got a little gold star on my wrist because Rachel Berry loves gold stars.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
For you being a star.
Can always remember.
So you're kind of committed to the show.
Kinda.
You've got in.
Just a little bit.
Look, we really, honestly, we love the show. We love our writers and our cast.
To be on a show.
It's changed our lives even within it just being like a year.
Yeah, I mean, this has been such a crazy whirlwind, you know, being on this television show that's so good. I mean, I would watch the show. I'd be a huge fan of the show even if I wasn't on it.
We've had such heartfelt moments, you know, in the show, and they've really, you know, meant a lot to us.
Yeah, it's real. It's a real show. So.
Well, I reckon we're going to see you at the Emmys next year. I have no doubt whether you'll remember the little people as you're walking up the red
We wear
carpet.
matching outfits.
I'm gonna wear a gray and black stripe tuxedo.
And I'm going to wear jeans and cream sneakers.
You got it.
I bet you don't. But you can go there. Not when you could have Louboutins
Right.
and Armani.
Did you see Jenna's shoes?
I did see Jenna's
Yeah,
shoes.
right?
We had quite an intricate discussion about Jenna's shoes.
Serious shoes.
Serious shoes, they're good. And we came up with some excuses as to why she should buy 2 more pairs, actually.
Listen, Jenna and I literally spent one day in Nordstrom's trying on every single pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, and we didn't buy anything in the store. He was so mad at us when we left. It was awful. He was like, "You're not getting anything?" We were like, "No." He's like, so mad. So mad.
Thanks so much for coming.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what he was
Thanks
like.
so much.
Yeah.